with that said, it definitely has this overwhelming Latin feel.
Sure does.
Has this overwhelming jazz feel as well.
Yeah, this is a weird song, harmonically, melodically. Fantastic song. And I think that the harmony matches the No Return.
My brain. Okay. Can't unhear it. This is a show about the 500 albums that Rolling Stone says are the best, and we're gonna talk about them ad nauseum. This is a show about the 500 albums that Rolling Stone says are the best, and we're gonna talk about them ad nauseum. This is a show about the 500 albums that Rolling Stone says are the best, and we're gonna talk about them ad nauseum. This is a show about the 500 albums that Rolling Stone says are the best, and we're gonna talk about them ad nauseum. Welcome back to the Backwards Beats podcast. I'm Carl Carter Fansteel.
I'm Dan Woodard.
And today we will be reviewing the album by the Kinks called Something Else. Released in 1967. Its runtime is a sweet 35 minutes, 48 seconds.
Yeah.
If you can find that version on Spotify.
It's really hard to find, but the robots can find it. I promise you that.
Otherwise, you're stuck looking at the deluxe edition, which runs for 2 hours, 15 minutes. It's the same first 13 songs, but then a million mono cuts and so forth afterwards that I would never listen to in my right mind.
It drives me crazy that Spotify, I guess it's a blessing and a curse, right? What I don't like is when Spotify just basically retcons the entire history. And maybe it's not Spotify. Maybe it's the band doing this. But if you just want to hear the discography of the band as it was, then it's sometimes very difficult to find that. And if you go to the Kinks Spotify page, you can't find the original album, although it is on Spotify.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
And we even compared the listens, and they're the same from deluxe to the album. It's just like they're pushing the deluxe version on you.
Yeah. And sometimes deluxe is great, and sometimes it's all the crap that they didn't put on the album for a reason.
Yeah. Or multiple different mixes, which maybe they could have, should have.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that a little later.
Sure.
You know, I do think that there is a conspiracy here. Ready?
Okay.
I went back to the Rolling Stone Top 500 webpage to look up the album name today, and saw a little blurb at the bottom of its window favoring Apple Music or iTunes for that.
Well, yeah, on that, well, it's not just that. On the Rolling Stone webpage, you can click to hear it.
Got it. So they have an embedded feature.
Yeah.
It's just our weapon of choice is Spotify.
Yeah, that's what I pay for, so.
Yeah, they've chosen the Apple. And
Fine.
So be it. Another time where Dan and I were right and they were wrong.
Whether it's right or wrong, all the mainstream services have their own versions of evil to them, so pick your pleasure.
I like that you're riding the middle line just in case. Yeah, don't bump our podcast down, Apple. So this album, as I said, it's old.
Sorry. Let me be clear. Apple Podcast is for old people.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Which is most of our listeners.
Fair enough. They haven't dropped Lil Uzi Vert's tracks yet.
Yeah.
On this list.
I mean, looking at the metrics, Spotify is our primary listener group. It's probably because we promote it more. It's a little bit obnoxious when you're promoting, like, here's my 50 links. We do have a link tree. We do have a website, but I'm trying to, when we promote stuff on social, to get you directly to the stuff. I don't know what's best.
I feel like any place where one consumes their media, we probably have a pretty good shot at. We pay for that.
Yeah, absolutely. We just acquired our first iHeartRadio and Pandora listeners recently.
Ooh, welcome in.
Yeah, welcome.
You gotta wonder if the Pandora algo will take stuff that we said during the episode and then push it afterwards.
Yeah, that could be.
That would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
We have some fun playlist stuff in Spotify we'll be working on in the future that will do that for you.
Yep.
We were just talking about.
Yes, we were.
All right. 67.
this is a band with a incredibly large discography.
Yeah, they've been around were around for many years.
And my God, do they have a lot of albums?
They do. They basically, their first breakthrough really started in 1964 with a song that you might have heard of called "You Really Got Me,"
Yeah.
which is, I don't know the Kinks that well, but I've assumed that would have been the album because I don't know their discography very well. I know some of the songs off of this, and I've listened to them, but not a Kinks listener. And when I first got the album, I'm like, why isn't it that album?
So once again, we've fallen into this funny place with Rolling Stone, where I agree with you. It's their number one listened to song by far on Spotify, and if you look at their number 3 listened to song, "Hello," I don't know what it's called, all
My Life, yeah.
That's the one. They have that song also massive, both off the same album. That should have been the album.
Right, but I haven't listened to that album in its entirety, so maybe there's a reason.
Yeah, I guess maybe. I listened to both of those songs today because I was kind of glancing. By the way, song number 2 on Greatest Listens of All Time from them on Spotify, number-wise. Lola.
Yeah, that comes much later.
So good.
Yes.
That song slams, dude.
That song does. That was peak, like maybe 5th or 6th grade for me.
Yeah.
When that song was popping.
Yeah, I mean, this is a well-known band. I think that they're definitely a rock and roll household name if you're in the older years. But yeah, the album that we listened to, I didn't make an appearance on the top listen chart until 5 or 6.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's the only appearance on there. And I'll spill which song that is a little later on.
Oh, can't wait to hear.
I know. Got any history on this thing?
I mean, it's kind of interesting. They started off a lot more kind of almost like a distorted like punk edge to them early on with R&B like roots. And then I feel like they evolved their songwriting over time, and there's definitely an evolved form of songwriting on this album. But to get down to it, let's just sort of talk about the Kinks in general, at least up to the point of this album.
Okay.
So it's, really centered around the Davies brothers with, Ray Davies on vocal and guitar, Dave Davies, lead guitar and vocals, Pete Quaife on bass, and Mick Avery on drums. And
Pronounced Quaife. Okay, got it.
Quaife. Yeah, I actually didn't know. I've looked it up, and
Good stuff.
yes, I heard people say it that way.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Anyhow, Mick Avery, little interesting tidbit about him that I was unaware of. He actually rehearsed a little bit with the Rolling Stones before they were officially the Rolling Stones. They were like kind of on the way there. People have credited him with gigging with them, but neither he nor Mick can recall ever gigging together. So I'll go with it. He just rehearsed with them.
Okay, yeah. I mean, there's band's not exactly known for being sober either. So
Right,
who
yeah.
knows what happened?
Yeah.
It could be lost in time.
Moving forward, the band had some problems. There's some band dynamics.
You don't say.
Yeah. What do you know?
I know nothing.
Oh.
But I feel like for this era of music, it's almost always band has problems. When we look back at talking about the Stooges, right?
Right.
And kind of all the tumultuous stuff that was happening with them. That's like a parallel for me somehow inside of here. The whole time I've been listening to this album this week, I kept recalling the Stooges because it was kind of this gritty, raw, I've heard this before, but where? What did it influence? Mm-hmm. And you just got to think with this kind of attitude and rock and roll push, you know that there's something coming.
Yeah. There's definitely family strife between the Davies brothers.
Yeah.
You could even say there's similarities between them and Oasis.
I was going to go there. Good man.
Yeah. They would often fight before going on stage. There's a lot of drama. Some of it actually comes out there's one song that may be about that drama we can talk about there. So In 1965, they were touring the United States, and it was a volatile tour. It was plagued by onstage fights. In this case, it was between Mick Avery and Dave Davies. And just their general misconduct led for a 4-year ban from touring in the United States by the American Federation of Musicians.
So an entire federation of musicians said, you're done?
No Kinks.
4 years.
Yep.
Like Olympic level ban.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
That's rock.
Yeah. So definitely there was some troubles there, and that band forced Ray Davies to focus more on songwriting and studio work, which really changed the future direction of the band.
Well, so funny part about the album that we're talking about today, Ray Davies has all of the writing credits on the whole album.
Incorrectly, but yes.
Yeah, that's good. But I was like, that seems like a really big stretch to me.
Yeah, there is one song written by Dave, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the wiki though, it was like, nah.
yeah, I had to look beyond Wiki to.
Good man.
to
I'm
find
glad
that,
you're
yeah.
there to debunk.
Yeah. So they had a series of albums that led to this. This is their fourth?
Fourth or fifth? Is it fifth? Fourth?
Sure,
Yeah.
one of those.
They had a couple under their belt. They had the money and resources to write this album.
Yeah, this is their, I guess their fifth. They had the Kinks, Kinda Kinks, the Kink Controversy, Face to Face. Those are the albums that led
Preceded
up to
this.
Yep. And you stated that this album was released September 15th, 1967, and that is true. That was the UK release. It waited till January 10th of 68 before the US release.
So like a 4-month delay?
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's normal. This is primarily produced by Ray Davies, and he started taking more and more control over the sound of the band. And then they had a producer by the name of Shel Talmay, I think.
Yeah, it's a funky name.
Yeah, who produced their earlier stuff, but was absent from this one. Again, Ray was just sort of taking over more of the sound and more of the artistic, tenor of the band. And yeah, so with one notable exception, you mentioned this, the songs were all written by Ray Davies. I guess Dave Davies penned and sang 2 songs.
I bet I could guess which ones those are.
Let's hear. Which ones do you think?
I bet he jumped in at Love Me Till the Sun Shines and Old Lazy Old Sun.
That's interesting. According to my information, it's Death of a Cloud and Funny Face.
Interesting indeed.
Yeah. And Death of a Clown was a top 3 hit single in the UK for the Kinks.
Yeah, I saw that was a bigger one for him.
Yep.
And if you look at the Spotify numbers, it actually charts with that. Wow.
Yeah. And I will spill the beans here because I had no choice but to learn this. This is not the only album by the Kinks that's on this list because it's just right up front on the Wikipedia page. So we will talk about them again. So I'm going to maybe truncate some of the history because we will talk about them again probably next year or something like that, year and a half. I can't remember when it is. Yeah.
Well, it happens from time to time. You got to assume some people make it more than once, though. I am perplexed how they're going to make. I mean, they're taking a single percentage? No, they're taking a fraction of a percentage of the list. But man, think about all the albums out there we could have had.
Yeah, I know. So the album did fairly well. It reached number 35 in the UK album charts. Not massive. U.S., it was less impressive. It didn't even get in the top 100 or the Billboard 200, but it's still, because it was impacted by the touring ban a bit, so they couldn't really promote it.
If you can't tour it, yeah, that's a real problem.
Yeah. And they had 2 top 10 hits in the UK off this album. We can get to those a little bit later.
All right. Anything else we want to talk about before we're talking about the song list?
Not in particular.
All right. Catch you after this break.
Hi, I'm Academy Award-winning actor Ricky G. You might know me from such films as An Orifice and a Gentle Scam, or Preachy Woman, and that one where I stare into the distance for 2 hours and win an award for it. As we get older, there's no shame in taking our health seriously, especially when it comes to routine colon health. Prevention is key, and awareness is power. But who wants to be roofied and probed by Dr. Huxtable?
I do.
That's why I'm proud to introduce something deeply personal, profoundly intimate, and maybe a little misunderstood. Ricky G's Self-Colonoscopy Kit, world's first at-home solution for the deeply curious and aggressively brave. Born out of a rumor and perfected by Bounty, and now finally available without a prescription. Inside the kit, you'll find an edible, glow-in-the-dark lubricant we call moon butter, a playlist titled Journey Into Me, curated by Sting during a 36-hour ayahuasca bender, and Gerald the gerbil, complete with helmet cam, the only gerbil to complete the colon run in under 5 feet, leaving the course in ruins. But before you begin your journey to the chocolate core, you need to prepare. To prepare properly, each kit includes our signature intestinal flush solution, diarrhea juice. Distilled in an abandoned chalk factory and blessed by a wandering magician named Kevin, diarrhea juice is a medical-grade purge elixir with an unforgettable flavor, with flavors such as citrus purgatory, charred nostril, and saggy prune.
You talking about your nuts?
Each 16-ounce bottle guarantees your own personal chocolate fountain. Once it hits, you'll feel like a jazz drummer dressed entirely in wet denim. Users describe the effect as biblical, non-linear, and like my soul trying to flee my body via the emergency exit. And yes, it does come with a bucket, a wide one, with handles. Ricky G's Self-Colonoscopy Kit. Your colon, your rules, and no awkward eye contact required.
You got to think. Blue Gatorade, it's one color. Topo Chico, way more painful.
I would agree. But what's nice about that whole thing is if you wrap it all in liquid latex, you're in for a good time.
Ugh. I mean, I'm willing to try anything twice.
Sure.
So let's get into the meat and potatoes here. This album, this record, if you will, has 2 sides. So on the A side, we have 7 songs here to explore. We open up on the tune David Watts.
Yeah, David Watts. It is a friend.
Show promoter.
Yep. A friend. There's some kind of interesting lyrics to this one. There's some ambiguity here about whether or not, like, the level of infatuation that's going on with David Watts, I'd say.
I'd say as well, I guess it was confirmed by Ray Davies that David Watts was fond of his brother.
Yes.
But girls wanted to date David Watts.
Right.
And therefore, I want to be David Watts.
Yeah.
I think there's a message there, and it's been done a few times before. My best friend's girl type style, like I am jealous, or like Teenage Dirtbag.
Yep.
I'm jealous of somebody's situation.
Yep.
This one just has a nice little turn in it, almost Belle and Sebastian-esque.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I like the way this song opens the album. It feels like a prelude to the album, the way it starts off, even though it's a little bit of a chaotic intro with the drum fill not quite in time, or maybe it's
kind of that back skipping record thing, which is cool.
Yep.
I'll tell you, I just always thought the Kinks were more kind of rock and grungy. And so I was surprised.
Yeah.
More than anything, I went, whoa, this isn't what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. When we were just freshening up our ears here, you made a motion around the piano part there. Do you think that's actually being performed that way, or do you think it's like a slapback on the...
Hard to say. to do a slapback piano trick would be trendy of the time. And if Ray's taking over his project after 5 albums or 4 albums and on his 5th and wants to like use some tricks, great. Does he know how to do those tricks? I'm not willing to give him that credit yet because there's some production faux pas all over this album as well. We'll get into song by song. Jury's out for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that it's not playable, but it rides that line to me of whether it's a produced artifact or just someone just hitting the piano fast.
I mean, yeah, that it would be impressive to clip that into tape because that's what you had to do back then.
Yep.
Yeah, this tune immediately reminded me of the Beatles. I went, this is not what I thought the Kinks would sound like, for so many reasons, right? You know, you have this kind of light trotting melodic approach over an accent from across the pond. Immediately, my stupid mind goes, "Yeah, that's that."
Yeah,
But there's other similarities too, which I enjoy here. Their use of the instrumentation, including said piano.
right.
You know, you have this very kind of clean sounding standard drums, bass, guitar, rock band, but then you end up pulling in some other cool instrumentation.
Right.
And to me, that's hallmark of that kind of Beatles sound, especially once they got out of their early phase and into the more experimental phase.
Yeah, one term that I heard the Kinks being referred to, and I'd never heard this term before, but it makes perfect sense, and we'll know it later here, is Baroque pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baroque.
Yes, not Baroque, as in Bach. And
Well, and so let's be frank, you can borrow a lot of that from some other folks who are doing it. Notably, you listen to some of the instrumentation they pull from, next couple of songs, you'll hear stuff like The Doors, Jim Morrison, right?
the Zombies.
Zombies were big into that.
Yep.
And so you end up hearing a lot of that influence. They certainly didn't come up with it, but
No.
they did lean into it.
They did, and you'll hear it later because there's harpsichord later in the album. And so Baroque pop refers to sort of bringing in sort of that Baroque
With a Q.
with a Q.
Style.
Yeah, so like Bach is the primary artist that we would know of that.
And
of that
pop's
era.
the right word here, not rock. This album in its entirety strikes me almost more of a pop album. You know, we call pop stuff that's heavily synth driven and quantized now because it is. Even back when you're looking at like, Michael Jackson and Madonna, king of pop, queen of pop, arguably days. But, what was pop music when your instrumentation was different? I think we're kind of sitting in it here.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to the 50s, you have like Rockin' Robin. Was that rock or pop? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, a guitar doesn't denote rock necessarily.
Yeah.
I think it's how it's played. There are rock moments on this album. This is more Rachmaninoff.
Aren't you clever?
I did it. What else about David Watts?
I don't have much else to say about that.
All right, let's move on. Song number 2, Death of a Clown. David Watts chimed in under 3 million listens. Death of a Clown pops up on Spotify to 11.6 million listens.
It's a better song.
It is
IMO.
a better song. It's a very different song.
Yeah, so the introduction, the Ode to Joy sounding introduction, do you know how that is performed?
Negative.
So Nicky Hopkins, who's a piano player, played with him on a few albums and played with a few other people as well, some rather famous people. He put finger picks on and is strumming the piano strings to make that sound.
How experimental.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I thought it might have been like hammer dulcimer.
A dulcimer. Yeah. A dulcimer was kind of where my ear was going to go. I mean, effectively, it is a dulcimer. If you're open strumming strings with finger picks, because it doesn't have to be a hammer dulcimer, because you can play a dulcimer finger pick style too.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I love that as a factoid.
Yeah, there you go.
This song gives me these like Dylan vibes initially. It could be this big open strumming thing. It could be the chord progression. It could be the off-key-ish singing. The storytelling is not nearly as good as Dylan's. However, this is a better tune in my mind than... I'm not the biggest Dylan fan. You all have heard this from me, and you'll hear it again. And I will eat so much crow throughout the course of our relationship here. But there are, once again, these hallmarks that you get inside of each musician. And, everybody knows what Dylan's stereotype is. It's why Jimmy Fallon can do them, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll talk about Bob Dylan more than once. At least I'm sure I will more than once in here. I get that for sure. I think it's maybe the bit of the whine that in the chorus that's in there. It's definitely not as off key as Dylan can be. And more melodic than sometimes Dylan can be.
Yeah, but these words are pretty right there. You know, that's where I think you trade off for the artist that Dylan is.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically this was written to be sort of a bit of a memoir of the repetitive nature of touring, and it was inspired by a moment at a party where he saw people indulging in the excess and likened himself to a circus clown, like just performing endlessly.
Yeah, I get it.
Yep.
I haven't toured that way, but you do 6 shows in a row, you feel it.
Yeah. No, you're on pretty strong course for what you're going to break 300
this year.
I
might. I'd have to tally them up.
Yeah,
we're headed that way. I got friends who do more than one a day. Technically, my buddy Dan, I think, did like 368 last year.
That's a lot of shows.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So you get tired. It beats you up.
And it's not necessarily the shows that always beat you up. It's between the shows and
the lifestyle.
Yeah.
If you don't take care of yourself, it's really easy to fall in and like take drugs, drinking, sex, late night fast food out of it. How about just sleep?
Right.
And aging.
Yeah.
Sleep and aging.
Yeah. It's not easy.
Yeah. But no, I had no idea that's what this is about. It makes it clicks harder for me because I like this tune. I genuinely think it's a top 3 on the album for me.
Yeah.
It's easy to understand. It's kind of easy to flow with. It's melancholy.
It is.
It plays its part.
Yeah.
And on song number 2, I actually like I like an energy dip on song 2. Watch the algorithm go check me against me bitching about this in another album.
Yeah.
But if you listen to here, go back to Continuum, right? Waiting on the World Change into I Don't Trust Myself. That fall off, I think, really catches a listener's ear. I think this was well played.
Yeah. I think I might have complained about it with Linda Ronstadt dropping out of You're No Good into, I can't remember the second song there, but it was a big
energy
drop
fall,
down. Yeah.
maybe.
But here it's nice. 'Cause I don't think it's that much of an energy drop. It's slower tempo, but I think because the vocal timbre is higher and everything like that, it doesn't feel as low as it actually is to me.
Sure. And one of the things that I think keeps this album relatively fresh is just because, and it's funny you talked about it, song to song, you have this new producer. This album lacks cohesion.
Yeah.
Production wise, it just, you don't get a lot of stuff that sounds the same. Is that a prerequisite for a good album? I don't know. I like when there's like, you buy a guitar that has like one last coat of polish that goes over the whole thing type.
Yep.
This one might not have that, but it keeps it interesting.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I'm not sure how big a deal mastering was all the time.
Right? There's like, get this thing out.
Yeah. So, and you're experimenting, and I, if you're a new producer, that cohesion might not be the main thing. It's like, ooh, this song sounds good. You produce a song, it sounds good. And then you go produce another song, and ooh, this sounds good too, to my ears. Or
As
whatever.
a new producer still in my own right,
Yeah.
I totally understand wanting variety. I totally get that. And I think I'm hearing it with that ear because there's a ton of variety on this album.
Yeah, there is.
Like, move over to the next tune, right? You move over to Two Sisters. And immediately, what's it remind you of? Just like opening 10 seconds.
Two Sisters. Well, again, it starts off with the harpsichord.
Harpsichord.
Yeah.
So what's it remind you of immediately?
I don't know. I don't have
The Doors. For me,
I don't get the Doors. out of
that
the song.
sound, it goes right to the Doors for some reason. And I was just like, this is a sound. This is a template of the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely that Baroque pop for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely don't get the Doors out of this.
Do you get that White Rabbit English 4 beat out of this?
A little bit, for sure. You definitely get that. This is an interesting song for sure. This song is believed to also be, so the song lyrically is the two sisters, one is jealous of the other. and they're going through their different lives. And it's believed to actually potentially be talking about Ray and Dave's relationship.
Yeah,
to some
just
extent.
change it to sisters instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always find that interesting when you like bands that are together, they write songs about each other, and then now I have to sing them together, right? Or whatever. That takes something. Right?
It does. I mean, you'd have to be pretty dull to miss the metaphor there.
Yeah. I mean, when we get to Rumors, the whole album is
The
basically
whole
that.
entire album.
Yeah.
Luckily, we won't have to do that for like 8 years, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Yeah.
No, the content here, even if you can't hear what they're saying, which you can, it's pretty clearly sung. You can hear it in the vocal performance.
Yeah.
I don't favor, I guess, Ray as the best singer at any time on this album, or the two that David do. But I like the vocal performance on this song quite a bit.
It's nice. This is very narrative, and I think to me there's an artist that I hear here. Of course, he hasn't come out yet, so maybe he was inspired by the Kinks. He probably was. Is Harry Nilsson?
Okay.
I get him a little bit. I'm not sure if you're familiar with much of his work other than
I mean, I know that
Lime in the Coconut. Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
I didn't want to say it, but
Right. Yeah. Yeah. If you listen to more Harry Nilsson, you can see potentially where he got some of his style from.
yeah, this one has a hint. Well, so you have this vocal double that happens the entire song, right? Then you have these like kind of sweeping orchestral lines that are really pretty.
Yep.
And then for some reason, I get this little taste of Simon and Garfunkel. Also,
Okay.
not like it was pulled per se, but just this strong influence, you know? And I think it might be the fact that you end up with the orchestral line, a little bit of harmony, and that narrative writing, right?
Yeah.
Couple of nice pieces in your poem there. A nice humming outro.
Yeah. That is definitely nice. I like that. There are no harmonies that match Simon and Garfunkel.
No.
On this at all, but
Not and later there's some pretty good ones, but no, I mean not 2 and 2.
Yeah.
What you'll see a lot is this vocal doubling on this
Yeah.
album. Maybe half of the songs you end up with the vocal double. For those who aren't hip to the vocal double, it's literally when a singer sings their lead line and they sing it again, and both of those recordings you're hearing at the same time.
yep.
Often they'll dip one down in volume or pan one off to the left or right, but it's a way of supporting a voice, sometimes strengthening a voice, sometimes it's a way of getting a choral effect.
Yep.
It's really up to said producer how they use it.
Yeah. If you've ever listened to Nirvana or Foo Fighters or Eminem,
Everybody does it.
yep, they all do it.
Yep. So it's used, I think it's used as an effect more than a tool on this album because they have a pretty wide soundscape.
Yeah. I mean, Beatles did it as well.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not necessarily easy to double yourself, get your performance to be really locked in and get your inflections the same. Mm-hmm. There's definitely a skill there.
We have to memorize where you start and stop words and how you say them and your shapes and your volume, you know.
Yeah. And that just comes with reps.
It does. I wouldn't say they do a stunning job here because some doubles you want them to sound dead on, and that creates, you know, its own effect. Here it's like, nah, man, double it up. Let's just like really get the funk of both of those.
Yeah. This isn't a super tight band. Let's be clear.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
3 out of 10.
Yeah.
Just like one tick above the Stooges.
Yeah.
They clap better.
Yeah. A funny thing about that, I almost forgot to bring it up, is when you look at the track listing, the liner notes on Wikipedia, it says, you know, uncredited hand claps, but for some reason they decided to put hand claps as an instrument in the liner notes, but they don't claim who does it.
You may as well give him to Ray as well. He already took everything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like this song quite a bit as well. I think they're off to a pretty strong start to this album. Only 3 songs in.
Yeah.
Anything else on Two Sisters?
No.
A note on that before we leave. It dips down to only 1.3 million listens. So while it still is one of the more listened to songs across this album, it's definitely not the heaviest.
Yeah. From here on, we're in the deep cuts till we get to the end.
Yeah, I agree.
Comparatively.
We're sub 1 million listens on the Spotify.
Yep.
But once again, as we discussed, if you haven't caught these other episodes, we have a running theory. The Spotify listens on the older albums almost never tower up that high because this is back when albums were purchased.
Right. And the people who love the Kinks,
Spin vinyl.
yeah.
They have a CD.
Yeah.
Maybe a cassette, maybe an 8-track. You never know.
Yeah.
But that's our ongoing theory until someone proves us wrong.
And if you want to prove us wrong,
You can always hit us up at our website or our Gmail
backwardsbeatpodcast@gmail.com
or Instagram,
at backwardsbeatpodcast.
and that's where Dan lives.
More than I'd like to admit.
It's because he spends all his time reminding me to go on and promote. I love you so much. Song number 4, No Return. Only 2 minutes long. Not long songs, by the way. Two Sisters, 158. This is 202.
This is a fantastic 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Really is. Finger-picking guitar. Mm-hmm. You have, I think we called it, it's like bossa without being bossa nova.
Yeah, bossa novas are, noted by a clave rhythm, and they do like half of the clave and just repeat it. So it's like bossa-esque.
Yeah, it has that first But with that said, it definitely has this overwhelming Latin feel.
Sure does.
Has this overwhelming jazz feel as well.
Yeah, this is a weird song harmonically, melodically. Fantastic song. And I think that the harmony matches the No Return.
Yeah, it's tough. Right when you think you grab onto a standard chord progression, it just does something totally out of left field.
You're wrong. Whatever you think is going to happen, you're wrong.
Yeah, Dan's face right now is it's the best as it can be for this. It's like, I love this tune.
It is. It's not my favorite on the album, but it's one of the more interesting songs because the song hops through keys like crazy. It starts off in the key of C. Interesting, and there's like this hook, this guitar hook, and if you were to, I sat behind the piano and played it around. It goes C to B flat. If you were to go look at like Ultimate Guitar, they're going to say it's a whole bunch of chords. He's just moving his finger around. So it's like a B flat 6, B minor 7, B flat 7. Like he's just moving a couple notes around.
Yeah.
It's just a hook.
Well, the guitar players do this.
Yeah.
This is what I've learned over time. Very few guitar players, I'm not saying none,
Right.
but very few guitar players write parts that are, oh my God, intricate, it feels like, to go out of the way to hit these chords. Half the time, especially this older music, it's because they change one finger position.
Yep.
You end up getting some whole different color on your chord, and they're like, that's sick.
Yeah. I would guarantee now, nobody in the Kinks is like formally trained. So this is all like learned here. So that's what's really impressive about it. And it's also probably why, as a jazz-esque tune, it doesn't fit any of those molds
None.
per se.
You know what band it reminds me of more, but I'm pretty sure they came out after. You can check me on this. Mm-hmm. This sounds like some chords that Yes would use.
Yeah,
Like really experimental prog rock. The difference is Yes would do this educated. They would do this scientifically. They're putting these chords together here because the harmonies, they see clashes. They're a little more
right.
It's not felt, it's known.
Right.
And here this just feels totally like you're wandering around a parking lot blacked out.
Yeah, it is weird. It starts off in C, then it eventually goes to an F chord, all normal, and then we go to basically it goes to A flat minor. But what it's doing is creating what they call a 2-5. So it's an A flat minor to D flat 7, so it can change keys into the key of G flat or F sharp. So that is a tritone off from C. So tritone,
Devil's music, baby.
yeah, even though it's been debunked by Adam Neely in
Thanks,
like a
Adam.
40-minute essay. It's pretty cool.
Local boy.
Yep. And so there's that tritone modulation, and then you're back into like normal land. You're in the key of G flat for a little bit. It goes G flat, D flat, G flat. Oh, sorry. Now I'm going to go to a C dominant chord, so I can change keys into maybe F, or no. Now I'm going to B. Like I have no idea what's happening. There's all these like tritone leaps, and it's very angular music. And then the bridge is pretty normal.
It is. I'll tell you, my favorite part of it might be the very, very end.
Yeah, and why is that?
Because they threaten not to resolve the song.
Yep.
Like twice. Mm-hmm. And then do.
Right. So at the end of the verses, there's this like, so we do this C7 F, and then we go to a B, and there's like again like a hook that's going on with on a B chord. It's a very similar hook that's in that B flat at the beginning of it.
It's I think the same hook just played and
A
half step up.
half step up. Yep. And then the outro is that hook over and over again, and you say it resolves because we're doing like a B13, a B7 sharp 5. He's just moving his fingers around, but that's ostensibly what the chords are, and it ends in the key of E.
Yeah. Done. But it's such a smooth ending.
Yeah.
Out of what was really like, I think that the push-pull tension in this song is that the finger style guitar that they're playing is so soothing.
It is.
And so nice, and it doesn't have any dynamic peak to it that gets in your way.
Yep.
It's just that the chords are so obscene the way that they interact with each other. Meanwhile,
and the melody.
you have a great melody. You have that doubled singing technique again, but this time the double's like dead on.
Yeah.
And this is why I think it was important on Sisters to talk about that was more stylistic double. You can be off because it creates this thing. Here, they didn't have room to screw up with harmony.
No, they're weird angular melodies, not easy to sing.
To double the vocal here is like, okay, you got to sing exactly what you sang last time, or else this is just going to turn into a car horn.
Right, with no auto-tune to help you.
None in sight. This song really had me scratching my head and wondering, all right, have I undersold their skill level?
So I look at this, obviously they're untrained, and I'm not making a comparison. I'm making a comparison in as much as, Kurt Cobain gets a lot of credit for his melodies. He's a fantastic melody writer and does some really complex stuff. Not that he knows it, it's just how his ear works.
That's right.
And that's what's happening here.
I think that I'd take that parallel.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? We can talk about tons of musicians like that.
Yeah.
This is just a really great example of this is a really cool song we would have probably never found had we not jumped into this realm.
Thrilled to have found this song.
Yeah, it's really, really fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think I like where it fell on the album once again.
Yeah.
I think this would have been lost upon people at 9.
Yeah, they needed to give it a shot.
Yeah, get it up early.
Yeah.
And then follow it up with Harry Rag. Dan, what's a Harry Rag?
I'll defer to our advertisers.
Yeah, it's still unclear to me too, but maybe someone knows better.
It's ragtime.
It is very ragtime-esque, I guess.
It's not. It's more of a drinking song.
It's 100%
It's a Cockney drinking song is what it is.
That's what I had written as well. I didn't have Cockney though. I definitely had dope two-step. Feels like an English drinking song.
Yeah.
This is run pretty much with a kind of snare drum cadence and a oompa bass.
Yeah, and sloppily played snare drum, but I love it.
But no, it's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Especially if you're embracing like the pubby drinking song rowdiness.
Yeah.
And the vocal style matches that of what we're speaking.
Yep.
It is sang loud, proud, barked, one may even say.
Yeah, the drum rolls in it, they're not quite double stroke rolls and they're not quite buzz rolls. They're somewhere.
Oh, they're buzzed all right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
There's these claps that are very good.
Yep.
And they accent the song in certain ways in closed sections. There's this really nice plucky electric guitar that you hear for its first time. Mm-hmm. Like I said, with the Kinks, I was thinking, the 2 songs that I've ever known by the 3, and they're always have been more grungy and rocky to me.
Yeah.
Finally, I get this electric guitar. It's like, ring. It's got a little bite to it.
Yeah. This is probably the closest you get to that, to the songs you're familiar with.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It's definitely the first true. Call it a rock song if you want to. I'm going to call it a pub song.
Yeah. This is like, it could be Louie to some extent.
Yeah, it has all of the gusto of Louie Louie.
Yeah.
Good group singing going on in this one.
Yep.
Of course, our favorite, Oi!
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
My favorite song on the album.
Really?
Yes, indeed.
That's cool.
Call me a Luddite, but man, I just smiled. If you listen to the production on it, it's very, very good as well.
It is.
This is not him copying a pretentious famous band. This is, one could argue, one going back to the roots.
Yeah.
And pulling from something. Because to me, this sits right in that realm. You could cover this at a proper pub. I don't care if it's Irish, Scottish, English. They're gonna want to claim it because it's just loud and hilarious. They say hairy rag.
They do, and they love a hairy rag. And you talk about the production, and I teasing the slop of the drums, but the drums sound really good.
Oh no, every sound source in this song is the best it's been in the entire album so far.
Yeah.
The bass is good, the vocals are good, the hand claps are clear as day.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a fantastic time.
Yeah, I love it.
I love this tune so much.
I knew this.
You knew this would be my favorite.
I knew.
I'm
for
easy.
Sure.
I'm so easy. All right, anything else?
No.
I'm gonna say it one more time. Hairy rag. All right. Moving on to Tin Soldier Man. This is a David tune, right?
Yeah. And to me, I start to get like if Motown met the Beatles on this one.
I wrote if Brian Wilson had control of Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, sure.
Not
okay.
far, right?
Yeah, not far. Yeah.
It has kind of like a bouncy, hokey Yellow Submarine-esque feel to it, hence my choice there. But it also has this nice pedaling eighth note part that's melodic, or that's a chord that keeps the pulse, which is more of one of the Wilson trademarks.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, the what I like about this is a song about the working man.
Yep.
It's the Tin Soldier Man. And it's this critique of like repetitive life and the drudgery of working, and comparing him to a tin soldier or a toy soldier.
If you look at the two David songs, that's a connected theme.
Yeah.
Right? Because there wasn't in Death of a Clown.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's the same argument, but being in a band.
Yep. So is this song a precursor to Synchronicity 2?
That's a stretch.
It's a stretch, but
That's a stretch.
chop like lemmings into shiny metal boxes.
Perhaps they could have pulled from it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, as prevalent as the Kinks were, their ears were wrapped around it. Plus, from the UK.
Yep. Yeah, the whole working class thing that's a lot of
ongoing theme.
Yeah.
No question about it. Man, we're going to have to go do some research on that.
Yeah, I had to say that because I wanted it in the show notes.
Oh, there you go. I mean, Synchronicity 2 will probably make the list.
Oh, yeah, the album Synchronicity?
Yeah.
I would think so.
I think so. Well, then again, who knows?
Yeah.
This list has been tricky to navigate. We haven't been able to call out anything yet, but we're still relatively early.
Yeah, we're in the...
We can call out bands. It's hard to call out the album. That's the toughie. Artists, we could probably buy and pick 350.
Yeah, we can probably guess Nevermind.
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
We can probably guess Thriller.
Yeah. We can probably guess, I don't know.
Rumors,
yeah.
Back in Black.
It'll be there.
Dark Side of the Moon, right?
100%.
Yeah, so
God,
those are
how many
easy
Floyd
ones.
albums are going to be on here?
I bet you... All right, I bet you everything from Dark Side of the Moon to The Wall. I think...
Is that 4?
Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, Animals, The Wall, yep.
Okay, I'll take the under.
Okay.
How many Zeppelins?
Whew. Let's see, I'm going to guess 1, 2, 4. Will Physical Graffiti make it on? Or Song Remains the Same?
See, I'll take the over to
Yeah.
the 4+ realm.
Yeah.
Because I agree, 1, 2, 4 for sure. I think physical. How could you do it without Physical Graffiti? They're gonna have to do it. They're gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
House of Holy. I mean, there's so much to offer.
I love that album.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Man, that makes it. I'll actually be like chuffed on them not hitting the top 4 for one time.
Right. Yeah.
Proper.
Proper.
Back to the Tin Soldier Man. There's a nice chromatic run on the chorus here.
There is.
I really enjoy that. Once again, kind of puts it back into that same box we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
What you said, R&B. How so?
Like R&B, like
Classic.
yes, rhythm and blues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What elements specifically kind of hit you there?
Well, actually, I said Motown on this one. I said R&B on another one.
Oh, my bad.
yeah.
Motown then.
So it's more like the timbre. This doesn't have Actually, does this one start off with a 4 on the floor? In
Hard
English
to
4?
say.
I can't remember if this one starts off with that. But I just was sort of getting like almost like a little bit of like nowhere to run vibe at the very beginning of this song.
Yeah.
I had to write it down.
It has a lot of elements.
Yeah.
And there's a pretty
But you're right on Yellow Submarine.
there's a pretty clean vocal performance on here as well, which and the way that the vocal is treated. This is, I guess, was it David singing this one as well? Yeah, I don't think this is a double initially.
No, I don't think. I mean, it's
It's
doubled.
just like a very clean presentation here.
It's doubled with the horn. Was it Barry sax or whatever?
Yeah, well, so yeah, I have that too. So I actually think that not only the production but the arrangement on the trumpets, the horn section,
Yeah.
and that is definitely a Barry sax,
Yeah.
bro. At the end,
Yeah.
the song is and screw me if you don't like this. It's a touch cheesy.
It's not a touch cheesy. It's cheesy.
Okay,
It's
good.
awesome.
Thank you.
But
But
it's-
I do like it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I like its position on the album. So far, what I really like about the list that we've gotten is you have 6 incredibly different songs. Compare this to an album like Suicide or like the Kooks, like, you know, where are the Stooges, where it's just, you feel like you're kind of in that same exact instrumentation, same exact energy,
Right.
over and over for a series. We haven't touched that yet.
Yeah. It's like the back half of Harry Styles.
Indeed. The back half of Harry Styles. He should call his new album that.
Back half. I don't think that would help him.
No, probably not. Or who knows, man. Harry's a pretty fluid dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my only note I had on that one. At the end is a little cheesy note. And I don't think it's a ding as much as it's, I want to acknowledge this is not like a musical work in my ear. I'll be like, oh, I got to go listen to that again. I just like where it sits on the album.
Yeah, me too.
And then we have a Situation Vacant.
Yeah. What do you think about this song?
Well, lyrically,
Uh-huh.
it's my favorite song on the album.
It's messed up.
Oh, it's messed up as hell. It's an easy story to follow. I think that's what I like about it. It's very down the middle.
Yep.
Thank God this didn't happen to me, but it feels like something you know a friend who had a friend where this kind of happened, or some
Yeah.
version of it.
Yeah. Susie and Johnny, we're happy.
And then mom got involved.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
Yeah, she's not so great.
Kind of cool. You get this nice piano intro here. And up until this point, this now wins the new, okay, this is a rock and roll song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the argument I was making towards Harry Rag,
Yeah.
definitely pub song. Here's your rock song, kiddos.
Yeah. I definitely get Beatles here.
Yep.
And I guess the storytelling is more Harry Nilsson for me. But
There you go.
I think we talked about this probably off mic. There's a Harry Nilsson album that I'm sure will, if Harry Nilsson's on the list, it won't be the album I'm talking about. But he did a story album that I fell in love with when I was a kid. It was called The Point. And so basically it's a narrative of, it's the same story as like the Sneetches, not really the Sneetches. It's a story about Oblio and his dog Arrow. In the land of Point, everyone has a point.
Oh, no.
On their head.
You showed me this album one
Yeah.
night because we were talking about things I could show my child.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that album. It's the songs are all kind of corny and goofy and that sort of stuff, but it's designed to be a kid's album. And so poor Oblio gets banished to the Pointless Forest because everyone in the land of Point has to have a point and Oblio does not. And then of course it goes through, all of his adventures. And so some of the production here and some of the storytelling, even though this is a rock song, and there's some rocking-ish songs on the Point, it just for some reason triggered that for me.
It's cool though
yeah.
when you get to go back to a moment like that
Yeah.
meant something to you.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's going forward because I think Harry Nilsson's first album came out in like 71 or something like that. But
Hey,
Anyway.
I mean, it's cool to think he could have pulled.
yeah.
You know, no, this tune moves. Tempo's right for it as well. It's the first time we get a guitar solo.
Yeah.
Hurrah!
Yeah.
And it's a pretty good sounding one. What do you know? What's not good sounding? That horrid 10 decibel too loud organ that they double with it.
What?
What were they thinking?
I don't know.
He must
It's
have like
distracting.
frequency loss right there, and just like no, more of that.
Right.
Because that thing, when it comes out of nowhere and hits you while you're just kind of grooving along, it's startling.
It is.
It's like getting honked at, like
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that part of the song at all, but
which sucks because I'm a pretty big fan of the rest of the song.
yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the production on this tune sounds like it should in '67. And not only the production, but the way the guys are playing in it too. Mm-hmm. You know, like it's kind of like the drum fills that they take. It all reminds me of the stuff that we've listened to from this era, stuff I've listened to outside of here.
Yeah.
It has the energy of it. It has all the right tricks. They're using the right space. God, remove that organ, and you've got a pretty great song.
Yeah. It's a great song.
Even with.
Yeah. I've actually kind of forgotten because it was super alarming the first couple times I listened to it, and I've grown used to it.
I think I made the joke earlier. If I used the ringer on my cell phone,
Yeah.
alarm, that would get you through.
It would wake you up. It would wake you up.
That's where disc 1 ends, and disc 2 will begin at song number 8. You want to take a quick break?
Let's do it.
You ever wonder why every microwave has a popcorn button? And every bag of popcorn says don't use it? It's not a suggestion. It's a warning. A decree written in bold right there on the fold. But that button, it's always there, lit up, smiling like it knows something you don't. But you press it, and it beeps confident and calm, saying, I got this, my friend. But it rarely does. Sometimes it burns the bag, sometimes it leaves the kernels untouched, ghost seeds rattling around in a chemical tomb. But every once in a while, it gets it right. And that's the part that keeps me up at night. Because nobody programmed that button for your popcorn. Not Orville, not your microwave manufacturer. It's calibrated for someone's popcorn. Somewhere, but you don't know whose. Meanwhile, that bag says no. Big, bold, uppercase. Do not use that button. Why? Maybe it's a test of will, or a test of our compliance, or maybe that button was never meant to be pressed at all. And you see that bag? It ain't just paper. It's lined with chemicals, long names, hard vowels, stuff that doesn't wash out, stuff that sets up camp in your blood and stays. So when that so-called butter melts, that ain't just dairy. It's a chemical cocktail. A little bit of flavor and a little bit of nostalgia. But we eat it anyway, because it smells like a memory. Like movie nights and sleepovers, like that summer that you learned what it meant to be kind and rewind. So I ask you this. If they built the button but warned us not to use it, then what's it really there for? The button promises comfort and delivers uncertainty. You press it knowing that you shouldn't, and that's when they mark you. Maybe it's big popcorn or something older. A salted cabal of snack lords and chemical engineers watching from the shadows of the break room, cataloging every beep, burnt kernel in every poor soul that trusted that button. You think you're making popcorn, but maybe you're making the list. And that, my friend, if you're on that list, there's no amount of nostalgia that's going to save you.
You know, it's important to take care of your instruments because you don't want to end up with a rusty trombone.
Yeah, well, I told him if you just squeeze your nose and push, you can fix all of that.
Perfect.
But it only works with a couple of different brass and the occasional wood bend.
That's correct.
All right, we are at the second half of the Something Else album by the band The Kinks, released in the UK in 1967. And we're having a good time with this one so far, I think.
We are. This album might just be something else.
We need the trombone sound right there, mister. We should have that right here on the button. All right, song number 8. This is a tune called Love Me Until the Sun Shines. And it is not my favorite song.
Huh. This might be one of my favorites.
Would you like to hear what I wrote?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Who the F let this guy sing? Must have been whoever mixed it. This song is just a ton of low, broken up guitar and bass. At least the organ is more balanced, and they clap better than the Stooges, so that's a plus.
Huh. I agree with your production notes.
His vocal performance is trash. Like not good. Like bad.
I really like this song. I feel like this is like Cream meets Bob Dylan meets The Who.
This is like Bob Dylan creamed on The Who.
Fair. I'm with you on the vocal performance to some extent. I like the Who-ish bass line in this.
It's so drony.
It's okay. It's good.
Okay, to each their own. I hear the Who bass line.
Yeah.
I see where you're going here.
Yeah.
I can't get over how poor the vocal performance is. And the musical performance, in my personal opinion, loosey goosey. Like no one's tight at all.
I know. I think that's what I like about it. It's just like everyone's just like falling down on their face.
You're wearing a Sungazer sweatshirt right now.
That's okay. Not everything has to be perfect.
Man, but this isn't even close.
Good.
Do they have to be relevant? Like where's the line?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's that egregious.
Okay. I think this sounds like a bunch of drunk old guys at an open mic.
It's way better than that.
I don't know, bro. That weak ass drum fill.
Yeah,
That drum break is so bad.
Yeah, this is not Ginger Baker playing drums on this.
No,
Not at all.
it's look there's an energy here
Yeah.
that I think is redeeming. The production, the vocal performance, and the musical performance all suffer, and so I'm wondering what does save it.
I don't know. The vocal performance does not bother me that way. I mean, yes, that's where Bob Dylan comes in. For sure. That's where he enters the equation. But I think there's elements of that production. That's where I get some of the cream. I think they're trying to be psychedelic a little bit with that production.
Okay.
They don't hit the mark. They will hit the mark.
But like there's things you can do in psychedelic to influence that. Like use a lot of guitar effects. Find some way to like flange the mix. They don't use any of those tricks. It's just a box of loud sounds and a lot of low resonant frequency that gets in the way.
They do get in the way, yeah.
One horrid guitar pan to the right where they're like dropped C or something and just
It's
baby's first concert.
yeah. I don't know. I actually like that terrible guitar going with the bass. I don't know why. I agree with you. This song is a train wreck, but for some reason I'm charmed to death about it. I don't know why.
Just know that this is not a personal attack on you. I actually feel bad for coming at it this hot.
I don't care.
It hasn't changed my mind. I
You
don't
don't
like
have-
the song.
you don't
at
have to
all.
like it.
I know I don't. Trust
No.
me. But I like you.
Still a free country.
Yeah, for a little bit. So I'm super not into this tune. And I'm really, really glad it was pushed to the end of the album. I think the only issue here is that it started off the second disc. Because if I caught this as my opening track on the second disc, that's going to the lake, bro.
See, that's kind of what I love it as the starter side too. I mean, having never listened to this on vinyl, because the previous song is so good.
Yeah, Funny Face is awesome. And then,
End of summer.
oh, and
End of season. End of
season. You're
Yeah,
right.
end of
Sorry.
season.
They're nothing like these two songs.
no.
And so as you move forward,
We can move on.
yes, thank you. The second part here, unfortunately, Lazy Old Son. My opening note is this part 2 of Love Me in the Sunshine? It's such a trash mix.
So this is actually it's not my favorite, but this is a top 3.
Wow, you and I just are not seeing eye to eye.
No. So this is them trying to do Tomorrow Never Knows by the Beatles with hints of Strawberry Fields. Not hitting the mark, but I love the psychedelic vibe to this. It's uncomfortable. It doesn't sound great, but I don't know.
I put it this way, not nearly as scathing on this one.
Yeah.
It's clear to me on this one what they're trying to do.
Yes.
they just didn't do it terribly well. I think we'd agree.
I would
Because
agree.
that out of tune low swell is not how you do it. That's how you give someone a panic attack.
And that's what I love about it. It feels like a panic attack. And it's just like this, to me, this haunting, it's just a descending chord progression. It's like dominant 7, like F, E flat.
But
It just
it's
goes down.
wavery and wobbly, and there's a stacked vocal.
Yeah.
There's some cool elements. There's like that Miles Davis trumpet thing.
Yeah.
And like that White Lotus vocal thing going on.
Yep. Yeah.
I like those elements.
Yeah.
I just don't think, once again, they pulled it off, but it's not nearly as disruptive as its predecessor.
No,
in
how's
my
this one doing for plays? Am I
It's
the
probably sitting. Oh yeah, it's horrid. It is the lowest on the whole album at 374,000.
Yeah, screw you guys. This song rocks.
Dan knows best. I think there's some cool chord ideas and some good elements, but we have an instrumentation and mix problem that are so distracting. It makes it hard for me just to I want to chill to it. I want to get high to this song. I just have a really hard time doing it. Because I'm critical.
I think you would have a hard time if you were high to it.
Oh, I'd immediately go to the hospital.
That's what I love.
Yeah, immediately. Then you just get to take over the podcast. Yeah, that whole moment on the album for me, song 8 and 9, really took the wind out of my sails for a whole, couple minutes there.
It's a huge distraction. I'll give you that compared to everything else we've heard.
Yeah, for me to strap away some of the humor and being overcritical, the real issue with these two songs at the end of the day, in my personal, it's mix first, performance second.
Yep.
And I still think Love Me Till the Sun Shines is the larger of the two errors here.
I would agree. If
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I will see eye to eye there.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I definitely hear your notes on it. It just doesn't bother me.
Oh man, it bothers me.
Yeah.
Oh man, it got me bad.
Yeah.
Mad.
How much music of this era do you or have you listened to?
Not a ton, if I'm going to be totally frank. I think my exposure is probably more than the average person, less than the average musician, true musician. I study, I go look back at these things.
Yeah, because there are plenty of old train wrecks, and I just may be more used to it because I've definitely criticized train wrecks, and there are production train wrecks in both of these songs, 100%.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is for me? If the whole album sounded like this production-wise, I don't know that I'd have the same affect. I think it's when you see what you can do, and then you strip it away and go to this. I'm like, how is this here? Because there's,
Because this album is something else, Carl.
it is something else. I find it so oddly tasteless. These 90 crappy shaker tracks thrown all over the place. It's just a sound jumble. Even Phil Spector would have been like, no. And you know how I feel about that guy.
Yeah, he's a gem.
Yeah. So, yeah, sorry I had to come out swinging so hard. There's my right and left in that order.
Well, maybe we should take a break and have some afternoon tea.
We're back.
Here we go.
If they just re-entered on this, I would have been so happy.
I figured you'd be back.
Also, I feel like afternoon tea is such a nice follow, or such a nice intro into some of the other kind of flavors that we're going to stick to for the rest of the album.
Yeah.
It really sets the new tone.
Yeah. And so my only half criticism on this one is this is, reminiscent about afternoon tea with Donna. And given the complete Paul McCartney bass line sort of ripoff that's happening in here.
Totally.
And you have a song called Lady Madonna, and the way it's phrased, it's the first time I heard, reminiscing about tea with Donna, I think he says my Donna, and it sounds like Madonna. I'm like, come on.
I swore he said Madonna, so you made it work.
Yeah, and I'm like, maybe just pick a different girl's name.
Yeah.
Or
is it a nod?
Or maybe it is, but it's not as good as Lady Madonna. But
No, but few things will be, and that's
Yeah.
what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I said I kind of like the Beatles copycat Kinks.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's there. Also, I was getting a little bit of like a Mamas and Papas vibe on this one.
Is that because of Rasa Davies' background vocals?
Could be.
Yeah.
It could absolutely be.
Yeah. So Ray's wife sings the oohs and ahs.
It has that same quality, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
All right, yeah, that must be it.
Yeah.
There's also something kind of cool that's going on here. The bass tone of this song. It's borrowed from a McCartney thing, but
Yeah.
it's totally not his tonality.
No.
It sounds like a Rickenbacker, doesn't it? It's like really ring, dang. It's like punchy and like
Well,
If
McCartney
you-
played a Rick too.
yeah. He did. Did he play Rick bass?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. In that case, totally jacked.
Yep.
You stole everything.
Yep.
You know what this song would do well? You could reggae-fy this song
Yeah.
really well.
Yes, you could.
That kind of like triad, arpeggiated bass line.
Yep.
So conducive.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear, Sting take a swing at this one later on.
Actually, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Right? Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
a nice match? I like this tune. It's delightful. It's an easy listen. Yes, it's a little Beatles-esque, but I'm okay with it after the last two.
Would he pair it with Englishman in New York?
No, that's way too cool.
Is that too on the nose?
That's way too cool. It's way too cool.
All right.
You leave my song alone. I love that song.
It's an awesome song.
Oh, man. I don't think the world was hip to that song until the Tiny Desk concert came out.
You don't think so?
I don't think the world was.
Oh.
I think people who liked Sting knew about it. And then now I only want to hear the Shaggy verse in it. So
Yeah.
it makes me really happy that it happened that way.
Yeah, that's good.
Anything else on this one?
No.
All right, cool. Funny Face.
Whew. This is another weird one.
Yeah, I think this one falls into a similar bin as No Return.
Yeah.
In the sense that it's a complicated chordal structure and song structure.
Yeah.
It's got these elements that are like very musical.
Yep.
Ripe for analysis.
Yeah. Yeah. I did not analyze it, but we'll have to decide how many times I do analysis on these songs. But one of the things that we talked about the lack of training. Not to belittle the chord structure of the song, because there's definitely some interesting harmonic parts. But one of the things that happens, and goes back to potentially just being a guitar player, like just moving a finger around, like, oh, this is cool. Oh, this is cool. And how far can I move my finger to change it? There's a lot of line cliches that make the chords more interesting. Again, whether they're intentional, you might get more credit when you write a lead sheet for, over what the guitar player what the songwriter actually meant to write.
Indeed. This is the difference between like when Donald Fagen composes for a guitar player
Yes.
versus some guitar player composing for themselves.
Yes, he's going to say, I want that flat 13.
And some guy will push back, but I can't put that there in
Right.
that voice.
Right. But you will. Yeah.
Or I'll hire another one.
This is a song that's believed to be about an ex-girlfriend who Dave was forced to stop seeing after she became pregnant.
Ooh.
I've heard another version of this. I think that's the definitive story behind it, but I've heard another version, which I hear more of this, it's a song about terminal illness. If you look at some of the lyrics, my love is growing stronger and stronger, smudged mascara and pill-shaped eyes. Everything you want was bought with lies, but I can't do without it. They say you won't last any longer. All the gates of love you won't walk through. The only gates you see are colored blue.
Uh-oh.
So
Well, she got tuberculosis?
who knows? Yeah, consumption. Yeah.
Oh, no. That's no joke, man.
No.
We just listened to an audiobook on that.
Uh-huh.
When I say we, I listened to like the first quarter and my wife listened to the rest of it.
Yep.
Terrifying stuff.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It's not good.
Yeah. It was actually alarming how much scholars wrote about how pretty people with tuberculosis were. Like it made you like thin and pretty and rosy cheeked and like a porcelain doll as you like just starved and died.
Oh, we should bring it back and get rid of eating disorders.
Ooh, no, we have a Ozempic now.
Okay.
The
I don't mean any of that.
the cool thing in this song that hits me is you have this this space in the verse. It's almost a 2-part verse where they're using kind of a nice like syncopation and a little bit of space, singing through it. and then re-latching it to the tune. It also has a bunch of different sections that kind of, I don't know, it calls back to "Wouldn't It Be Nice?"
With the funny faces, all right?
Shut up. See, look at these guys. They're stealing left and right.
Yeah.
Kinks, shame on thee.
Yeah.
But what it makes for an interesting tune.
Yeah. This is good. I like this one. You like this one?
I like this one. I don't like the ending
Why not?
because it fades out over the course of like 2 seconds into nothing, and it's like gone.
Yep. It's
not
over.
cool. Yeah, but like no, if it's over, it should stop on a line. Fade? Come on.
Yeah.
Unless it's a death thing. Now that you can be interpreted different.
Yeah.
I'll redact my comment. I've already been vicious enough.
You don't have to redact it. Have your own thoughts, man.
I like this song quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think it's the no return of the later part of the album. It's interesting. It's fun to listen to. I like the production on it as well.
Yeah.
Let's scooch it on down to End of the Season.
Something tells me you don't like all of the birds.
Here's my note on it. One note melody turns into a crooner with an insane amount of bird sounds. I'd like to hear Cake cover this. The Cake note is because there's like this funky high pass filter on his voice and almost this dry presentation that reminds me of the band Cake.
I get Jim Morrison.
Yeah,
to
I
some extent,
totally
too.
hear that.
Yeah.
I love this tune. The birds are freaking loud.
They are loud. Very well recorded.
Yeah, whoever did the field recording on this gets a bonus. Thank you, David Watts, for the field recording.
Yeah. I kind of wonder. I mentioned this song before, and I'm going to mention it again because it's such a weird song, and I want to see if I can get like one mention of this song in every season. How about that? So on Pink Floyd's album Ummagumma,
Okay.
they have a song called "Several Species of Small Furry Animals Gathered Together in a Cave and Growing with a Pict,"
That's right.
and that starts off with lots of animal sounds. I wonder if they got the same source recordings or where that came from.
I mean, it's not that hard to field record some birds.
Yep,
And
but it's really well done.
I mean, no, there is a notable kind of sing-song. I said crooner. I don't know if it's really what I was shooting for, but I don't have a better word for it.
Yeah.
But like, you can see like Harry Connick Jr. doing this one, like.
I even though this doesn't sound like the song, I said this reminds me of "The End" by the Beatles if Ringo had written it.
What would make this the Ringo right?
Sort of that. There's a bit of it. I don't know. There's just I think it's like the attitude of it more than anything, because it's not Yellow Submarine, it's not Octopus's Garden, or anything like that. But it's got a little bit of, I don't know, it has a little bit of that Ringo schmaltz that he can put into it.
He does have a little schmaltz to him. That's about the only word I could put to it.
Yeah.
I didn't think this would be such a Beatles comparison, the
Yeah.
entire album here, but they've pulled from so much, or the Beatles are just truly that influential.
They're a big deal.
Yeah,
You
a little
check
bit
them
of a
out.
big deal. Oh, over under on Beatles albums. What's the number?
Let's see. Do you think it's more than 10?
I think it's less than 10,
All right.
but probably not by much. If I had to like put my money down, I'd take plus on 7.5.
Okay. I'm gonna plus than 7.5. I'm just going straight with 10. I bet it's 10.
Wow. So they're gonna. I mean, yeah, that wouldn't. 10's not that much in 500, and the Beatles are the Beatles.
They are the Beatles.
Okay. Well, they unquestionably had a lot of influence here.
That's for sure. But you know what they didn't do? They didn't write Waterloo Sunset.
Oh, they did not. And it's sweet 137 million Spotify listens either.
This is the banger on the album.
The hit, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not going to go look back, I think this was the number 5 top most listened to song by them on Spotify.
I think so. Yep.
I have a question.
Let me hear it.
Have you ever heard a song for the first time and you were 100% sure what the melody would be based upon the name of the song? Because the 5 consonants in Waterloo Sunset and the opening guitar line, I was like, I know exactly how this will go.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, you're going to use that cadence, da-da-da-da-da.
Yep.
over the words.
Yes.
And not only will you do that, see this, and here's a Beatles reference, the same way they do in Norwegian Wood.
Okay.
Right? You hear the theme, and then all of a sudden you're gonna sing that freaking melody. Da 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 da. Right?
Yeah.
It has that same kind of. It hit me, and I was like, I know how this is going to go. Mm-hmm. I don't know this song. I may have heard it once in my life, but I know how this is going to go.
I did know this song. This is the only song I knew on the album.
But it has that.
Yeah. And this song, I mean, it reached number 2 in the UK charts. It became one of their most celebrated songs. So
It's probably the reason this album is on the list, or probably one of them.
yeah, probably one of them. I mean, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, without really spilling the beans, I mean, this is a very eclectic album. There's a lot to pull from here. You're not going to be bored listening to this album.
No. I agree with you entirely. I mean, this is the last song that we're going to be reviewing on here. And so it's been a ride, and I think this is a killer anchor. And it's not like they knew it was the hit per se when they stuck it in last place. I don't feel like in 67 they were exactly like doing like, you know, the same kind of like crowd testing and stuff that Capitol does now.
No, but it's interesting because I feel like they put more effort into the production on this song than any of the other songs.
It's some of my favorite production on the album.
Yeah.
Specifically the guitar. Mm-hmm. It sounds gorgeous. I was like, I'll take that tone right now.
Yeah.
It has like this great dirt to it. It sounds like supporting sustained rock and roll. It's the exact opposite of all that stuff that happened in position 8 and 9. It was like, this is really well kind of like metered across the board.
Yeah. This is their first stereo single that they released.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
In the deluxe edition, for those who might end up having to check it out if you're watching on Spotify or looking on Spotify, you'll see there's all these crazy mono and stereo release options for a lot of this music. I have not listened through.
Yep.
But there's probably some takes that sound either better and or worse.
So Rolling Stone magazine,
I've heard of them.
in 2021, they ranked this song number 14 on their list of 500 greatest songs of all time.
Whoa, that's high praise.
That is high praise. I'm not sure I would put it at 14 out of 500, but
I certainly wouldn't.
no. It's a good song.
It's not a top 500. Not in Carl's book.
No.
But you know what? I didn't write the book.
Nope. Didn't write the book.
I like the tune.
Heck, I think I could list 14 Incubus songs that I like better than
There
this
you
song,
go.
you know?
Hey, I'll do that right now. Does Incubus make the list?
No, not a chance.
Man, talk about an album. I mean, if they were to make the list, what makes it?
They
Do they do the obvious, or do they go for like Morning View?
well, Incubus is currently doing Morning View live. They're like,
If they come through this area, we go.
yeah,
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
yeah. It was the 25th anniversary, I think, of the album or something like that.
I am so old.
Yeah,
I am so old.
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens.
The
with
song
them.
sounds nothing like Incubus.
Oh no, not at all. But we're allowed to go on tangents. It's our show. No, I think that this is a great anchor for it. Whether or not they knew this would blow up, it's such a nice rap. It's such a beautiful tune.
Yeah, I agree. It would be my favorite if
Get him, Dan.
No, actually, I do think my favorite is probably No Return because it's just so weird.
Yeah, No Return is my second.
Yeah,
I choose Harry Rag
I
still,
know. That doesn't surprise me.
and I choose Funny Face.
It's a good one.
Though there's some really great songs on this album. This was not on my first listen or second listen, something that I was fond of. Mm-hmm. And as I listened more, and I kind of got out of my own head about what I thought the Kinks should be or what they were, and I looked at the Wiki page and I saw their discography, I had a broader view. And it was like a good educational moment for me. I just wanted to put that on the microphone.
Similar experience here. I wasn't hooked. I knew Waterloo Sunset, so I knew I would like that song, and I was expecting some of their bigger bangers on the album. So I was immediately disappointed when I just saw the track list. I'm like, what the hell, right?
Yeah, this is not what I thought.
Right. But I'm glad I listened to it, and similarly, it took a few listens for me to be like, okay, maybe it's the same thing. I just need to get out of my head.
Yeah, the more we walk into projects where we recognize the name, the more it's crazy how much my entire life view on them has been colored by a quip from TV or someone else's opinion when I've done literally no research. Or even if I have, it's one song that I know that they have.
Yeah.
Right? Never would have known who Richard and Linda Thompson are.
Right.
But like I had heard who Selena was.
Yep.
Had no idea, right?
Right.
Coming into that one, what to expect besides it's probably Latin music, and it was.
Yep.
But it was very good. Your thoughts on this? Does this deserve to be on the top 500?
It's hard for me to say because I think the Kinks need to be in the top 500.
I agree with you.
And I've already crapped on Rolling Stone for putting compilations on. So congratulations for owning it. So knowing that the Kinks have to be on here, and I don't know their discography well enough to know the songs that have their biggest hits. I guess it makes sense for me. I can see why whatever album Lola's on isn't there. It's too late in their catalog for that to count. And who knows, maybe the rest are stinkers. Come Dancing, which came out in like 83, like that's probably is that their biggest hit? I don't know, but it's certainly up there. It was a huge hit in the 80s. Sounds nothing like any of this other stuff.
It's crazy to me that they have huge hits that spanned, right? The early 60s to the mid 80s. Like that alone is pretty impressive for any group.
Right. So that to me is why the Kinks definitely belong on this list.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, sure. Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah. IMO. Yeah, totally. I agree on the Kinks belong on this list front. I like this album. I don't love this album. And take off the two songs that I crapped on. I still don't know.
Don't take them off.
Yeah, I'm saying take them off for the sake of my argument here.
Yeah.
I don't know that changes it for me.
Okay.
I'm not looking for a pristine piece of art. I'm looking for something that's influential. Mm-hmm. This to me was influenced. Make sense?
That's fair.
I know the Kinks have their other style, their more grungy stuff that they opened up the door with. But I probably would not put this on there myself.
All right, that's fair. So I guess you would not hit it either.
Oh no, that's what I was saying.
Okay. Would you? All right. So let's.
I believe the Kinks should be on the top 500 of all time.
Yep.
I don't believe this is the album.
Okay. So we are in disagreement once again.
You see, people, we can do it.
We can do it. We can do it.
A really fun listen. I won't soon forget this one. I might even acquire it on vinyl. However, not for me.
Good enough.
All right. Well, if you enjoyed this episode, we would kindly request that you give us a follow. We are seeing on our metrics that we have quite a few listens, but not the follow to back it up, and that seems to be what the services care about.
Yeah, it's a combination, and so with those follows, it helps promote the podcast. Even better, extra credit if you can give us a review. Actually, Apple Podcasts is a great place to give a review. You don't even have to be an Apple Podcast listener. I think you do have to listen to maybe one episode on Apple Podcasts or something to leave a review. That really helps bump it up in the rankings. So if you love the content, take, 15, 20 seconds to say how freaking awesome this show is.
It means a lot to us.
That'd be great.
Yeah. But we'd love to keep interacting with you. We are looking forward to bringing on a few more guests this season as well for some of the fun content that we get to play through. And we also hope that you enjoyed some of the side content that we put together during the break. If you have ideas for side content, little segments you'd like to hear, feedback on what you did hear, we'd love to hear that too, since we're already planning for our next break this winter and how we're going to navigate that content.
Sounds good. Let's do it. So hit us up on our email at backwardsbeatspodcast@gmail.com. You can slide into our DMs if that's what you want to do on Instagram at backwardsbeatspodcast.
It's been such a pleasure, Daniel.
It absolutely has.
And we will catch you next week.
That's true. Do you want to know what we're going to listen to?
Oh, yeah. What is it?
Next week, we're going to be covering album 477, which is Moanin' in the Moonlight by Howlin' Wolf.
Ah, another blues god.
Another blues god.
All right, well, buckle in. We may have to make some calls.
You know what's nice about this one?
What?
12 tracks.
Oh, thank God. Look, I like the blues. I don't like 52 of anything, though. That's it. I'll see you.
Love you.
That was a show about the album Something Else by the Kinks. Eclectic mix from jazz to punk, but we prefer Lola.
Backwards Beats Podcast is a Tuna-Wood production recorded live at Thought Shack Studios in Halethorpe, Maryland.
If you enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You can find us at Backwards Beats Podcast on most platforms.
Share the love, and we'll see you next week for another deep dive into the next album on Rolling Stone Magazine's Top 500 list. Until then, salt your melons.